Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about a company and its features. As we all know, company is governed under Companies Act 2013, which was earlier Companies Act 1956. There have been amendments which have been made in the Companies Act, and now the companies are running according to the Companies Act 2013. Today we will discuss about the features of a company or characteristics of a company. Basically, we will be talking about what are the features of a company. The first one is separate legal entity. As we all know, a company is totally different from its owner. That is, if a owner is having, I'm writing here, if a owner is a natural person, as we all know, the owners are the natural persons which are classified under natural person. But if we talk about a company is not a natural person, as company is made by the owners. So basically we will be talking about what is about the existence of the company. The owners invest money in the company and the company is run through that money, and it is also called capital, which is a liability for the firm, right? So liability, first of all we should know what is liability. Liability means it is a fund which is used by the owners in the company to generate profit. So basically what we are talking about, the company should use this capital and it will work as a liability for the firm. The owner will invest certain amount in the firm, and this amount is invested to gain profit from the company. For the company, it will work as a liability. So I have written here, it is a liability for the firm. Capital is a liability for the firm. As at the same time, the owner will get benefit out of it. So it will work as an asset for the firm. So it is an investment. The amount which is invested by the owner is an investment or asset for him. But at the same time, the company will use the amount and it will be a liability for the firm. Like we discussed, owner is a natural person, but the company is created by the owner, so it is an artificial person. Artificial person, but it has a legal existence. I'm writing here, legal existence means it is governed by the law or rules and regulations, we can say. So each and every company which is working in the country is governed by Companies Act 2013, or it is governed by the rules and regulations of Companies Act 2013. The first point which we are discussing is separate legal entity, means the company is having its own existence which is totally different from the owner. We will be discussing about how the company is having the separate legal entity. The owner has invested amount in the business, right, which is company, and it is a borrowed fund. Borrowed fund means what? It has to repay it back in near future. So the amount which is to be repaid back in the near future to the owners, basically we are discussing about, if we are talking about a company, the owners are no one other than the shareholders. So as we know, in case of sole trading concern, a single person who has invested amount in the business is the owner of the sole trading concern. We can also talk about partnership firm. The partners who are investing amount in the partnership firm are the owners. They are known as partners in the partnership firm. But in case of company, there are no owners, but they are many owners. There are many owners which are known as the shareholders. Now we will discuss about who are shareholders. The shareholders are none other than the people who are investing amount in the company. They are also called shareholders. And why shareholders are investing amount in the company? They need to generate profit out of it. When shareholders, we are talking about shareholders, when they invest amount in the business, this amount will be used by the company, which will be termed as share capital, and share capital is a liability for the firm. It will be treated as a capital which will be used in by the company to generate profit. Whatever amount of profit is generated by the company will be shared. The some part will be used by the company, whereas another part will be given to the shareholders also, and that will be given as a dividend. So the amount of profit which is divided to the shareholders, given to the shareholders, is known as dividend. Now we will discuss about what is dividend. Like, everyone wants money, everyone wants to make profit. The amount of profit which shareholders gain through the company by investing amount, at the end they will be generating some profit out of it, which the company says it is a dividend, and it will be treated as an expense for the firm or the company, but at the same time it will be treated as a profit for the shareholder. So if we can take an example, like we discussed, the shareholders or the owners of the company, shareholders are also called the owners of the company. As we know, those who invest amount in the business are the owners of the company. Like in company, shareholders are investing amount in the business. For example, we take an example of rupees 1 lakh. They are investing 1 lakh rupees in the business, and whatever may be the business, the amount will be invested in that firm. Their work will be carried on, and after carried on their business, they will generate some profit out of it. That profit will be divided among shareholders. For example, the company is getting a profit of rupees 10,000. Maybe the company will divide it into two parts. 5,000 will be given to the shareholders and 5,000 will be retained by the firm. So the amount of profit which is given to the shareholders will be treated as dividend, and it will be treated as an income for the shareholder, right? So if a shareholder, this is just an example, if a shareholder is investing rupees 1 lakh in the firm and is generating 5,000 per month, say for example 5,000 he is generating, so at the end of one month he will be able to get rupees 1 lakh 5,000, right? So at last he will be able to manage 5,000 profit out of the company, means he is getting a dividend of rupees 5,000. The legal existence is like shareholder is a person or a natural person who is investing amount in the business, which is totally different from the company. The company is having its own existence. Like we can take an example of Kingfisher Airlines, which has suffered a bankruptcy also, but the owner of the firm or the Kingfisher Airlines is not the owner. Basically, shareholders were the owners of the company. So in order to run the company is also dividing its risk with the shareholders. How? If the amount is invested by a single owner, the risk will not be divided, whereas in case of company, the shareholders are basically investing amount in the business, so whatever may be the profit will be shared with the shareholders. Whereas if the company is generating any risk, that risk will also be shared by the shareholders. This is how company runs. At the same time, the company is reducing its interest also. If the company takes loan from the bank, the company has to repay a lot of interest to the bank, whereas in case of shareholders, they do not have to give any amount of interest to the bank, whereas the risk is also diversified. The risk which the company, in case of, we can take an example of sole trading concern. In sole trading concern, there is single owner who is taking the risk, who is bearing the risk. If any loss is there, loss is suffered by the single owner, whereas in case of company, this risk has been divided amongst the shareholders. So this is what is separate legal entity means. The company is totally different from its owners.